On this James the Bike Guy, we're taking a look at a bike that you might take on vacation with you. You might even commute to work with it, or better yet, have a nice comfortable way to get around the neighborhood or get into work. That's right, we're checking out the Giant Cypress. This is a hybrid bike from Giant that we're gonna go over the features and designs of. I'll let you know where it's gonna ride well, what it competes with, and then finally, we'll figure out exactly what it weighs. So if this kind of thing is interesting to you, I suggest you stick around and let's go ahead and check out this bike. The Giant Cypress is what would be considered a comfort hybrid. And what a comfort hybrid is basically a bike that's got an upright seating position and is going to put comfort above just about anything else in the design of the bike. And as you can see here on this size small, the handlebars are quite a bit higher than the saddle. The saddle that comes on the bike is going to have a nice extra cushion to it. You've got a suspension portion just underneath the seat that can squish as you go over bumps. And then the handlebars are going to have a nice rise to them, as well as a quill stem, which is going to give you some limited adjustment, but you can dial in how this feels. And that's going to put you in a position that's going to make it really comfortable for short to medium rides. Nice way to get around. And one of the things I like about the positioning on this is the pedals. You can see they come down just a little bit forward of the saddle. And what that means for you is when you're sitting on the bike and you've got that saddle at full height, you're going to be able to get a little bit more of your foot on the ground. Now, where this is going to compare to other bikes that are out on the market is going to be bikes like the Specialized Crossroads 1.0. I've got a video of the Crossroads 2.0 that I'll link up at the top of the video, but the Crossroads series is also a 700C bike, but the positioning on that is going to be just slightly more sporty than this one. Now, in a similar position, you also have the Trek Verve 1, and that's going to differ in a couple of ways. The first is going to be it's going to have disc brakes, and then the second is it's got a 21-speed drivetrain. This Giant has an aluminum frame just like the others. It's got a steel fork on the front end, which is pretty common on these types of bikes. And then you're going to notice that the brake setup is in a traditional rim brake. So this is going to help save cost and a little bit of weight, but the rim brake is going to wrap around the rim. And as you can see, when you're using it, it's going to be stopping down on the wheel. On a disc brake bike, where the brakes would be is kind of down here in the center with a disc that goes around the center of the wheel. It takes away any of that clamping on the rim, but moves the disc down, gives a little more stopping power, but of course costs a little bit more as well. Now moving on from that, this Giant Cypress is set up with a 1x drivetrain. What that means is it's one up front by whatever the amount is in the back. And in this case, it's got a 7-speed freewheel. So this 7-speed freewheel is a 14 to 34 combination. So that's the gear range that's coming on the back. It's shifted using this Tourney rear derailleur. And that's a perfectly fine drivetrain here. And compared to say that Trek, it's gonna be running a similar drivetrain, but instead of a 1x up front, it'll have 3 gears up front. What that means to you when you're out riding is this is essentially set up as if instead of a 3-speed, it's got the middle ring up front. So that'll be a 42-tooth chain ring up front. And with that 14 to 34 out back, in light to moderate hills, especially flat stuff, this is gonna work out perfect. But if you were in a really hilly area or needed to go extremely fast, you may be looking for something that's gonna have that front shifting. And something I really like is the shifter setup that's on this bike is divorced from the brake levers. So sometimes you see these with the shift and the brake together. Personally, I like them when they're separate because if either one of those two were to break, you can replace them without doing the whole system. Now the shifter is Shimano and it's gonna have indicator to show you what gears it's in. Cockpit is gonna be all steel here. And overall, I think this comes out being pretty nice. This bike does run 700C wheels, and they're going to be running a 700 by 45C tire, so you've got a little extra width and volume for comfort. But with those tall tires, this is not going to be a flat foot on the ground, but more of a tippy-toed ball of your foot. So let's go ahead and find out exactly what this bike weighs. The actual weight of the giant Cypress comes in and weighs 29.19 pounds. Well, thanks for watching this video on the giant Cypress. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'd love to know where you'd like to take this on a ride, or what kind of things would you want to upgrade to it if given the chance. While you're at it, be sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell. That way you can be informed and see when the next video comes up.